let's talk about drama in the guild OnlyFangs. So last night, Tyler1, the new guild master, did his first tribute chest and guild meeting. And it went kind of okay. As you can see on screen, he's got 2 number 8 boxes. He gift wrapped it all the things, but he didn't actually need to. The undead won a Staff of Jordan. And the undead representative was Alex Bones. Now, Alex Bones equipped that or something. I'm not sure if he equipped it, but he upset the undead. Apparently, they had a vote without him really knowing to send his character to the Guru Bashi arena, which they've had a similar vote earlier against Sardako. In that earlier vote against Sardako, he just kind of took all the loot, distributed it to who he wanted to, and disregarded what the undead wanted. A very similar act as Alex Bones did. And I felt Zico specifically had it out for Sardako, and it was a big overstep and abuse of power. And it really made me like Sardako and not like Zico. Because it's just such an overreaction. Just have the people like roll on the gear that your race gets. It's so stupid to have the undead vote to send somebody to the arena to have their character get deleted when you could just have people instead vote on who gets the gear, or you simply roll it off. It's just such a wild overreach, especially when you already have Soda Poppins coming up with all of these punishments. Just have Sardako do a punishment. Just have the vote be, are we going to have Sardako have to do a punishment or not? Like, sending him to Guru Bashi is crazy. So that kind of turned me against Zico. So then a month or so later, we have a situation with Alex Bones taking the Staff of Jordan from the undead. So Alex Bones heard that they voted to send him to the arena. So he apparently Makarad Mizkif and lost. And now he's a troll. So while that drama is kind of unfolding and people are hearing about it, all this happened very quickly after the meeting last night. And so the drama just kind of escalated and involved other people. Involved people going into Uber's Discord channel and starting to talk. And the guys are like, hey, we're doing Ubers. Get out of here. Just total chaos rang out. And drama happened around the undead meeting that they have, because after the guild meeting, the races kind of divide and distribute the loot that their race won. And so the trolls have a meeting, the Tauren have a meeting, the undead and orcs, they all have their own individual race meetings where they distribute loot, do some RP. Particularly the undead does a lot of RP, and this created drama as well. So this guy, I forget his name, but he tried to talk during this RP event and got talked over and rushed to an insane level by this guy Penta. Now, this guy Penta is a total douchebag. Just a massive, massive douchebag. People in all kinds of chats were saying G-kick this guy. I would be okay if they G-kicked this guy. This guy is an absolute jabroni. So they have these RP events on the undead. Their meetings go way longer than any other race. There's all this RP, and they kind of are holding the gear hostage. They'll force like a really long RP event and then distribute the loot and tie in distributing the loot to the RP event, which is going to be wildly annoying to most of the people in the undead, because they're not maybe they're not in the mood that night to RP. They don't want to talk over 20 other people to be participating in the RP event. Like, it surprises me that the undead haven't looked at stuff like GTA RP and realized even in GTA RP, even if you have like a group of 6 people, it can be too many people and be chaotic. Best RP things ever usually involve 2, 3, 4 people in a call. Having more than that is wild, right? Like 5 people can be way too much easily. Even in the dungeons they're running in World of Warcraft, it can devolve into total chaos, especially in hardcore. Once stuff starts going wrong, people are taking a lot of damage, and the situation gets dangerous. Having 5 people in a call together can be too many voices. So anyway, this guy gets talked over, and I think he left the meeting or something, but the real conflict gets brought up later. I think he just hearthed out of the meeting, was like, all right, well, I can't talk. Because when he was trying to talk, he kept getting talked over, and he's like, all right, I want to say something. And then this douchebag Penta says, oh, do you have a question? 2 seconds go by. Oh, did you have a question? Oh, talk. Like, just rushing the guy, and the guy keeps, like, beginning to talk and just gets talked over by this Penta turd repeatedly. And so the guy just dips out. Makes a lot of sense, right? So anyway, that drama kept going after the events of this happening. It gets brought back up. And, this Penta guy, basically, Zico stands up for the guy who got talked over. And I think 100% rightfully so. And like I said earlier in this video, previous events have turned me against Zico. I think Zico was power hungry when he was the undead mayor and overstepped wildly by trying to get that vote against Sardako. I think that really, really rubbed me the wrong way. So I'm definitely not on Zico's side going into anything. But in this situation, Zico was 100% right. Because he was saying, all right, this guy was talked over and interrupted. That's what happened. So, but this Penta guy was like, oh, well, we let the guy talk. So basically, the guy got interrupted, talked over like 4 times in a row, and then they're like, all right, talk, we'll let you talk. But by then, the guy's already so mad because he's been trying to talk that he just says, like, screw it, and leaves the meeting. And Zico mentioned that in a later argument, saying, like, yeah, this guy was talked over. These, like, undead meetings are a little ridiculous. This kind of, it's not even, like, good RP. And, like, yeah. So, anyway, this Penta douchebag just continues to talk over people. And, like, Ms. Kiff went over the drama and stuff. So, you still have a ton of people in the Discord call going over the drama and what happened, and it's just escalating. And this Penta guy's like, what? Well, we let the guy talk for 30 seconds uninterrupted. We let the guy talk. He wasn't interrupted. And it's like, no, Zico is correct. The guy was talked over multiple times in a row. The guy asked to speak and continued to get talked over. So yeah, just because after that happened, you let him talk, that doesn't negate the fact that you interrupted the shit out of him repeatedly. Like, this Penta guy is just such a jackass. It's like he just thinks that if he talks over people and continues to, that somehow makes him right and makes him smart. Like, this guy was a total douchebag. He's calling people dumb, calling people autistic, like, just being absurd. Like, just throwing out all these insults. And it's like, yeah, you have to understand that you're making the other people who you're kind of screwing over by holding this gear hostage, you're making them wildly uncomfortable to where they have to scream over you in a Discord call to even get their voice heard. Like, you can't interrupt somebody multiple times in a row and then let them talk and act like it's absurd that they would be upset that you interrupted them. And you didn't get interrupted. You got to talk. I interrupt you 4 times in a row, but then I let you talk. So why would you be upset? It's so stupid, man. This Penta guy is a moron. Just you think that in the argument about it later, where you continue to talk over people and just shout, that you being loud and obnoxious somehow makes you right. It does not make you right, and it certainly doesn't make you smart. Penta, you are an absolute douchebag and a moron, and I hope you get G-kicked. Other than that, Tyler, you've done an amazing job as guild leader. I thought about making a video of throwing out suggestions of things you could do, and you've done all of those things. Like, you've done a phenomenal job, especially in this guild meeting. Now the tribute chat was a little scuffed, but for a first time, like, using this crazy, like, add-on and stuff, not knowing what you're doing, you did a phenomenal job, really. Considering all that with the tribute chest, obviously it's not going to be as good as Soda Poppin's, like, 8th time doing it. That wouldn't make any sense. But, oh my god, especially when Tyler1 mentioned Dantes and people not being able to make it to max level. I think I loved watching Dantes and OnlyFangs throughout. Incredibly entertaining, and I hope he comes back. And I think with certain people like Dantes or Mizkif, they just don't really have, like, the patience to keep the attention and focus that they need. The problem with hardcore WoW is if you stop paying attention, if you let your mind drift away for even 30 seconds, you can lose your character. You can make a bad decision. You can walk into the wrong area. You can become overwhelmed. Say, like, you encounter a glitch that maybe if you were fully locked in, you would be able to survive. That's going to be very difficult for people like a Mizkif or a Dantes to ever really overcome. So I hope that the guild kind of allows, not really cheating, and I don't want them to, like, do something that would delegitimize the legitimacy, or, like, the fact that other people have done it legitimately. It would kind of stink to have people do it illegitimately, but there needs to be some kind of workaround for people like Mizkif and hopefully Dantes. And, like, I don't know what you could implement, like some kind of buddy system. Like, somebody needs to carry these guys a decent chunk. There needs to be some kind of shenanigans going on. And with the tribute chest in particular, like, I've played a little bit on this Doom Howl server, and I had a level 32 Warlock die. It was really boring. It wasn't in a dungeon. Dying outside of a dungeon is so, like, lame and boring and uninteresting. But I remember I found a BOE blue early on and was like, oh, I would like to give this to OnlyFangs, but I don't even know how. So I think outside of the guild, Fangsley and whatever, there are people on this server who want to give loot and other things, probably even just flat out currency, to the OnlyFangs guild, but they don't really have, like, a vehicle to do that other than just, like, mailing tribute chest or Tonka loot or and hoping that it, like, makes it into the tribute chest. I feel like you kind of almost need to, like, assign a person to be, like, managing this and be collecting stuff in a different kind of way. I don't even know how you would necessarily do it, but I feel like there's stuff for the guild that isn't quite making it to the guild. And it could be. So, yeah, I've enjoyed watching this season of OnlyFangs so far. I hope Dantes comes back. Tyler1 has done a, like, shockingly good job as the leader of the guild. That's it.